Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, I'm your host, Mrs. M. And if you haven't, make sure you click the link below. That way you can subscribe to my channel and not miss out on anything that you need to scale your cleaning business to six figures and beyond. Pow! Now, if you like the content of this video, I would love for you to subscribe and also make sure you hit the little bell notification. That way you receive any of my newest videos, which I normally do a video every day except for Fridays and Saturdays. So I normally do one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Sunday. Now today what I'm going to talk about is the cold calling script that actually made me well over six figures and beyond in my cleaning business. And it's one thing to hear about a theory. It's another thing to actually have done it. And I did it as recent as a month ago. I wanted to see with the pandemic, what was I going to be up against if I was starting my cleaning business from scratch, or let's say I had gotten started. I hear a lot of people say that they started something, especially a cleaning business, let's say this year. And all of a sudden, they were picking up momentum and everything changed and they really didn't know how to get quite back on track because maybe they were going out door to door or doing something that was working and then all of a sudden it changed. So I wanted to put the theory to test. I wanted to test it out to see, could I call and make some walkthrough appointments? And the answer was yes, yes, yes. Now I'm going to give you exactly what I did. And if you'd like to learn more, I'm going to do a cold call six-figure webinar on what you need to do to actually get walkthrough appointments in this cold call training. It's specifically for getting walkthrough appointments in today's market and what you need to do to build your cleaning business to what? Six figures and beyond. Pow! So let's start with the basic. I know for me, I would get a little nervous when it was time to do the cold calls, probably because I didn't like it. It wasn't something that was my favorite, but I knew it was a necessary evil. Sort of like if you don't like broccoli or something, but you know it's really good for you. And I said, okay, what can I do to make it more fun and actually make it work? So the first thing I did was I would never, ever, ever do it without a script. I don't care after how much money I made, how many times I did it, I felt really comfortable with the script. So I've got my little handy dandy script here in front of me. And the second thing is I had already gone on to manta.com, MANTA.com to get the phone numbers. I didn't want to pay for anything. I wanted to act like I had no money. So if you have no money and you need walkthrough appointments from your cleaning company right now, these are the steps. I'm going to give you around 6 of them that made all the difference. And like I said, I did it as recent as last month. So let's take a look. The first thing, you need a list to make the phone calls from. So like I said, I went on to manta.com and I put in a list of companies that I wanted to call. So I started with law offices, chiropractor, daycares, dental, clinics, nursing homes, and I even looked up a couple of warehouses because I know we have a lot of warehouses in the area where I reside. Once I made a list around 6 or 7. And then I also would include in there property management companies and construction companies if that's something that you like. But the first thing I want you to think of is, what is your ideal customer? Write down why. Write it down. And then I want you to think of what's in your area. If your ideal customer are a lot of daycares, but there are no daycares in your area, then it's really not going to make a lot of sense for you to go after daycares. But let's say your ideal customer, you've gone on to Manta, you've put it in the area. With Manta, you can put in the city, the zip code. So you've done that and you realize that there are a lot of what you're interested in. Let's go with the daycares or law firms. Let's say there are a lot of them in the area. I narrowed it down to things that I knew even with the pandemic, they would be there because it was a type of business where they had to physically be in the location for them to be able to service their customers. So that's another thing you may want to look at right now with the pandemic going on. And who's to say for how long this is going to go on? And we are not going to let anything get in the way of us actually scaling our businesses to where we want to get to. So once I had the list, I had it in front of me, I then made up my script. And I always say, you want to make up a script where you're calling and be very mindful of these things. These are the things I'm going to talk about. Number one, I want you to call and I want you to match the voice of the person that answers. So if they sound really enthusiastic, I want you to sound really enthusiastic. If they sound more calm, then I want you to sound more calm. So we call it mirror and match. And I go into that a lot more when I talk about the training that I'm going to do, that you can click into the description for the cold call 6-figure. This is for building and scaling to 6 figures using this cold calling method. And there are, like I said, about 6 tips and steps that I'm going to give you and go into great detail when we do that with the training. So you want to mirror and match. The other thing is I want you to listen to the pace. If they sound like really, really fast, then I want you to sound really, really fast. This gets their attention because it matches. It makes sense to them. And that's one of the things a lot of people kind of mess up on. The other thing that I want you to pay attention to is, I'm going to give you 3 tips in this video training, in this video, but like I said, I have about 6 or 7. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to ask for the person, the name of the person that's in charge of the cleaning services. And don't really get into, hi, how are you doing? Hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm calling to ask for the name. When you stop to ask how are they doing, they're really not thinking that they want to get to what is that you want. So time is of the essence. Don't slow it down and take all day. Remember, you're mirroring and matching how they sound. You want it to sound natural, but pick up and get the energy from them. I'm an energy person, so I know that I match and mirror with someone that sounds like they have energy as well. That's a good synergy for me. Find a comfortable spot, but try not to be extra slow if they're speaking extra quickly, and try not to go extra fast if they're, going, really, really slowly. So that's something I want you to pay attention to. Now, when you ask for the name of the person that is in charge of the cleaning, normally the gatekeeper, that is the hardest person to get through. That's the receptionist, or sometimes you may go through an answering service or an answering machine, and it's within the calling system, and that could be a challenge. And in the training, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need, what kind of message you need to leave on the answering service or voicemail that is going to absolutely get your phone call back. Absolutely. Works every time. I've tested it and tested and tested, and I've tested with my clients and my students, and it works every single time. Now, I am a big proponent of the telephone, because the telephone is what I use to get my business to where it was, and several. And even today, everyone has a telephone, and it's still one of the major ways where you're able to get the information you need. Most people are not looking for you to sell cleaning services over the phone, but you are looking to get an appointment. And I always call this my golden 6-figure script. It's like the golden ticket for getting a 6-figure walkthrough, being able to get more and more, so you're able to scale your business to well over the 6 figures. So once you've asked for the name in charge, the person that is in charge of the cleaning, you've gotten their name, there is a way that you can craft a letter. And that's the second part of the cold calling, where you're going to get a response very quickly, and if it's done correctly, they will want you to come and do a walkthrough right away. Remember, it is a numbers game, so it definitely has a lot to do with how many people you're reaching out to and what you say. So we talked about the mirror and match, asking for the person's name. You're not looking to speak to them, you're looking to get their name. There's a certain thing you do, a letter that you craft, that allows them to really look forward to you coming in and do a walkthrough. Most times they're calling you because they're so excited. That's when you're doing it the correct way. They're calling you. The other thing you want to pay attention to is when they say something like an objective. Most people fall apart when there's an objective, but what you want to do is you want to acknowledge the objective. So I understand that the last company you had didn't do a really great job with cleaning. And then you want to say, but one of the things we can do. So respond to what they say by acknowledging it. And then you want to respond and pivot into something else that lets them know that in this area, you're going to cover it without any problems. So repeat what they've said. That gives them the acknowledgement and the assurance that you've heard them. Listen. Be quiet for a minute and listen until they've completely said what they have to say. And then you want to respond in an even, nice, mannerable way to let them know that you've heard them and that you're concerned. The number one thing you want for your customers, potential customers, is to feel that you're there not to sell them, but to service them. And that's what it should be about. I know I love this industry. I love doing facility support services. I've done the landscaping. I've done all of that, and I love it. It literally has changed the lives of my employees, the community, my life. It's really made a difference. And I want you to feel that for the potentials that you're looking at achieving as well. So if you want to learn more, and I go into great detail with the 6 steps, I just gave you like 3 of those. And I just talked about the little bit about the golden opportunity, which I call the golden 6-figure calling script. The training, the description is in the description. The actual link is in the description. All you have to do is click onto the link. I will look forward to seeing you there. And these 6 steps, 6 easy steps, will have you zooming through, doing walkthroughs in no time. So if you're really interested and you're serious, and I know this time frame is a little different and strange, that's why I wanted to do it myself, so I wasn't just saying something that I had not tried. I actually tried it, and I was able to get 5 walkthrough appointments. And I am in an area that's very competitive. So if I could do it, I absolutely know you can. But it's not about just doing it, it's about having the right tools. You can have all the intentions in the world, but if you don't have the right tools to do the job, to get it done, it doesn't matter. So that's why I'm going to give you the tools, the tips, the steps to do the cold calling, even in today's type of atmosphere with the pandemic, and get the walkthrough so you can scale your business to what? 6 figures and beyond. Pow! So if you like what I'm talking about, make sure you give me 2 thumbs up, and also make sure you actually come in to train for the webinar. So looking forward to seeing you. Until next time, be safe and take care. Bye-bye.